like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before you get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe to all of our YouTube videos. Hitting that notification bell by subscribe button, as well as Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, $ BJ Matthews. You can still donate that way. I'll put the link into the pinned comments so y'all can donate that way. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all coming in early this morning. I know we started a little bit early for Clipper Talk, but I'm on the road right now, back to the crib. So I got about an hour and a half, couple hours. Chop it up with y'all, let people come in here, you know what I'm saying, talk what they need to talk about, you know what I'm saying. But we are with the Clippers every Saturday. People are just new subscribers. Every Saturday, we have LA Clipper Talk, where we talk about the Clippers, news, updates, games of the week, and all that good stuff. Just keep y'all informed, because a lot of these YouTube creators are putting out, daily videos or daily lives for their games, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's only fitting that I do this every Saturday for y'all, so I keep y'all updated what's going on. But nonetheless, hit that like button, you know what I'm saying, and get the people in here. I'm not gonna be showing my face on this live. I'm gonna be having you guys turn on my avatar, but it's all good. All right, so let's talk about first thing is first. The Clippers are currently 2-1 this whole week. They won 2 games. They lost 1 game, and they beat the Pistons on Monday, 142-131, which was a crazy game. Them coming back about 14 points in, I think, I want to say 3 minutes or 2 minutes, something of that nature. The Clippers have this mojo of always making these spectacular comebacks. So they did it again against the Detroit Pistons. So that was amazing nonetheless. If y'all can't hear me, if y'all see me cutting out, just make sure y'all say something in the comment section. They beat the Pistons on Monday. They go back to a back-to-back in Toronto on Tuesday, where they face Kawhi's old team, where Kawhi, played, very average. He didn't really show out like he wanted to show out. It was more of a collective group. They won 124-113. And good win, good 2 wins, that put in at 20 and I think 20 and 15 or 21 and 15. Now they had the Celtics on Thursday, which was their game of the week. The two tandems of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown versus Kawhi and PG went down to the wire. I talked about this yesterday on my live about how I felt about how that game went. I felt the Clippers made too many mistakes down the stretch of that game. I thought the Celtics were more on point with the execution as a team on offense and defense. And I think that, their coach, Damon Stoudemire, I think he, was able to keep them locked in with the absence of their head coach, Joe Mazzulla. And I also got on, Ty Lue about that, what we're about to talk about in a minute, about how I feel like there's certain situations we're seeing a lot of weaknesses in Ty Lue's coaching. And I'm not so sure Ty Lue's safe. His job is safe going into next season. Right? Tony Garner, welcome to the show, bro. He said, fire Ty Lue if the rotations don't get better. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Salute, Miss Collins. Salute, Miss Collins. How you guys doing? Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. Get notifications out there. Welcome this Saturday morning. And also, Happy New Year. Happy New Year tomorrow. We'll be on the show. We'll be having our first show in the 2023 year. So, Happy New Year to all. Salute. All right. So, I was very critical on Ty Lue. I was very critical of how the Clippers played on the defensive end, on the rotations. On the perimeter, guys with Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson. Those guys were getting cooked by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Just line drives to the basket. Marcus Smart line drives to the basket. Derek White line drives to the basket. But that also goes to their ball rotation. See, Boston, if you watch the Boston Celtics play, they actually have a real offensive system that makes them successful, right? So that's credit to, when you move the ball around, it's easy for you to, catch the ball, dribble and catch the ball off of rip-throughs and things of that nature. Just all basketball terminology for y'all pretty much. But that's nonetheless. I I blame Kawhi for this loss, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. I don't know if y'all saw the last live, but just to kind of recap, I blame Kawhi Leonard for the loss that happened yesterday because of this reason only. He was the best player on the court, right? Kawhi was the best player on the court. I think we can agree to that. He shot 68% from the field. He shot 50% from three. He was pretty much dominant with, a minimal amount of, shots and touches. He was just the most dominant player on the court from start to finish. Now, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown did have 29 points each. That's very true. But if you look at their field goal percentage and how they shot the ball poorly. And people don't want to talk about this in the media. Tatum shot 39%, which I continue to tell people, this dude always has a lot of bad shooting nights. He shot 39% from the three, 39% from the field. He went 3 for 11 from the three-point line. Jaylen Brown shot 48% from the field and went 0% from the three. Okay? But they scored 29 points, so people are just going to, highlight that part. Ty Lue's experiment is playing as many guards as possible in lines we were promised Wingstop. Good comment. Y'all hit that like button. But again, they scored 29 points, so that's all the media wants to talk about. Oh, they scored, this amount but they don't want to talk about the efficiency and how bad they shot from the field. Understand what I'm saying? So, just Kawhi, to me, when I watched that game, was the most unstoppable player on the court. But the reason why I blamed Kawhi for that loss is because he only shot 16 shots in contrast to what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum shot over 20 shots. So, and I noticed this about Kawhi lately. If you look at what Kawhi's averaged this season, this month, he's averaged 20 points per game. Right? He's getting more into the flow. He's getting more back to the rhythm of things. I said this before, that don't pay attention to what Kawhi did last month coming back after the injury. Okay, people were saying he's averaging 11 points per game. I said it's going to go up as he continues to play more and more games against that rust off. Right? And we've seen it right now. Literally, Kawhi was the best player on the court off a minutes restriction that he's currently still on. So he's not getting the minutes that he wants. He's not 100%, but yet he's dominating these guys and playing chess while these other guys are playing checkers. Right? When they beat the hell out the Celtics a few weeks ago, Kawhi shot 83% from the field. It was a clear-cut domination of what Paul George and Kawhi Leonard did. Right? This is why I continue to say that these were the two best. This was the best duo. They beat the shit out the Celtics to the point where, people are just like starting to realize, okay, this is who Kawhi and Paul George were. Celtics come back against them on Thursday night and barely win that game, which it came to a last second play by Paul George where he got blocked by Derek White. And we're going to talk about PG in a minute as well. But the Clippers went 2-1 this week. Not bad. They got the Indiana Pacers tonight, or at 2 o'clock. So I'm going to watch that game. I'm going to get home and watch that game. So they should win. Indiana should win pretty decisively as well. But let's get into the show, man. Let's get into the things we're going to talk about. Ashley said, how do you feel about our trade situation, BJ? I'm kind of excited in being in for a point guard, backup center, or a young star, or maybe even Bogdanovich. Okay, let's talk about that because I heard about that too. I'm going to talk about that. Let's talk about let's first talk about Ty Lue, man. Let's talk about what's going on with Ty Lue, because Tony Garner said fire Ty Lue if the rotations don't get better. Listen, let's recognize what Ty Lue has done first, right? He's led this team to the conference finals for the first time in, franchise history, in 2021, right? He got a championship with LeBron James in 2018, or yeah, it was 2016. I'm sorry, 2016. Definitely, last season with what he had, he got us to have 40 wins. Without Kawhi Leonard the whole year and with Paul George less than 35 games, he did a hell of a job with what he's been working with, right? So you would think now that he has all his horses back in the stall, you would think that he has all of his guys, his two best players playing, pretty much all the way there healthy. You would think that now, okay, it's going to be much easier to coach this team because you ain't got to worry about having to, bring guys in different roles, like Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris being our main guys, when they are not. That's not who they really are, right? Salute the realist. He said Clippers' biggest problem is shooting three and not attacking back. Okay, let's get into that. But I'm seeing stuff with Ty Lue that is very alarming. Okay, first of all, I do not like how he's treating Robert Covington. I don't like how he's treating Robert Covington. This man, let me go ahead and pull this up for y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I don't like how he's treating Robert Covington. I don't know if this is an organizational thing. I don't know if this is something that's just been talked about or been worked about. I don't know what's going on. I got the second best coach in the league. Y'all should at least get to the conference finals against the Warriors. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Appreciate that comment. This is what Robert Covington has the last 3 weeks, right? He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? 7 DMPs, right? He's had 7 DMPs. Now, before, at first, I thought it was just, him coming off of COVID, right? That's what Ty Lue said. He was coming off of COVID and, he wasn't able to play. We're trying to slowly work him back into the rotation, all that good stuff, right? Fair. But then, after he gets off the COVID restrictions, I saw this interview of Ty Lue basically stating that, he had a conversation with Rocco and said that, he appreciated him sacrificing and, doing what's best for the team. And when he was out, Terrence Mann, was playing so well that he took so many of his minutes and all that stuff, right? Okay, got it. So you look at it now, Rocco is still on the bench. He's still not getting heavy minutes. He's still basically, like a lot of people are saying that he's looking to probably get traded by how they're just basically not using him, right? Said Katie versus Kawhi would be a good match. Yeah, that would be the matchup I love to see, actually, right? Appreciate that comment. Melo Riley, what's good, man? Not really. Here he comes, He's saying it's not really. I don't know why you say that. Warriors, Clippers, Pelicans, my picks out the West. Okay. I feel like we have to play our slashers if we're going to have no offensive game plan. Man needs to play more. He's our best guard defender. Coffee is also net positive. And they're both, yeah, I like Coffee a lot, too. I like Coffee and Man together. They're a young, explosive, backcourt duo as far as on the defensive end and also by energy. But let's get back to it. Ty Lue basically said that Robert Covington was not able to really play based off of what Terrence Mann has been doing. So the only issue I have with what he's saying, or I got a couple issues with what he's saying, this man ain't playing at all. It's not like you just cut his minutes. You ain't playing this man at all. He ain't played since December 19th. Or December, what's this? December 15th, which was his birthday. So he played 23 minutes that game, and I think Kawhi didn't even play. So you basically just leaving him on the bench for, to not even play. He played 3 minutes against the Charlotte Hornets. So I don't know what's going on, but to say that Terrence Mann is cutting his minutes, bro, they don't even play the same position. So that right there don't make no sense. And then I look at the game against them on the Celtics on Thursday. I see Nicholas Batum, who's actually Robert Covington's position, limping around the court, obviously not 100%, and you still don't give him no minutes. So there's a lot of stuff that he's telling me that is not adding up. And I used to go through this with coaches as well. I've seen this in the locker rooms. I've seen this in coaching with teams where the coach would sit up there and tell you one thing, but completely tell you something else. Oh, he's going to get his opportunity. You just got to be patient. Got to keep working hard. You just got to keep on being patient, all that stuff. So I know the game, in and out, that everything a coach tells you ain't always what it is. Y'all hear what I'm saying? If Batum Rocco needs, he needs to be playing. So to me, there's something to me going on personally behind closed doors that we're not immune to, because the answers that Ty Lue is giving them is not really, it's not lining up. Because you said that he's going to get his opportunity and that you're just trying to work on rotations, but he ain't played in almost 3 weeks. And you're telling us that, you know, it's because Terrence Mann has came in and played well, but you barely playing this nigga. You played them 5 minutes against the Boston Celtics, and you ain't been playing them more than 20 minutes since the Detroit game. Right? You ain't been playing this man, Terrence Mann, how he needs to be being played as well. So you saying that he's look at this right here. This was a game against the who was this against? This was against the Celtics, right? This was against the Raptors. Luke Kennard had 17 minutes and had 0 points. Terrence Mann had 12 minutes, had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Right? My thing is this. I know we have a long depth roster, but if Luke Kennard ain't shooting and he ain't scoring points, and if he's not doing anything on the offensive end, he don't need to be playing. There are certain games that are not going to be made for Luke Kennard. Boston was not a game for Luke Kennard to be playing in because the speed of the game and, you know, him not able to really, you know, get his own shot off and things of that nature without a screen, it wasn't going to be conducive. It's not going to help the Clippers be successful as a team. They needed athletic slashers, like Mrs. Collins said in the comment section, if we're not going to go with an offensive game plan. You can't keep running the same action, you know what I'm saying, curl with Luke Kennard, and it's not working. Boston's going to sit on that, on Luke's shooting hand every time he comes off those screens. I mean, that stuff like that is where I look at Ty Lue as like a little sideways. I'm like, man, you keep doing the same thing, and it's not working. He's very stubborn, right? Yo, Africa was good, bro. Appreciate you coming in. So yeah, Ty Lue again. That was mistake number one, and then you don't play Terrence Mann the minutes he needs to be playing. I've been seeing that for the last couple of seasons. I've been high on Terrence Mann since the 2021 season. A 6'5" guard who can play both ways, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, very high IQ. And even when he was showing out in the playoffs, Ty Lue was still hesitant to play this man minutes. Go back to the Dallas Mavericks series, right? I remember instead of just playing Terrence Mann, they kept playing Patrick Beverley and Reggie Jackson. Now, Reggie Jackson did do his thing in the playoffs, but Terrence Mann, he made winning plays. He made winning plays in the Dallas series, made winning plays in Utah series in games 5 and 6. He made winning plays in the Phoenix series if they actually played on more minutes. If you guys recall that first game, game 1, or was it game 1 or game 2, where Terrence Mann hit the ball off of DeAndre Ayton's leg, and they called the ball to still be on Phoenix when it really went off of DeAndre Ayton's body. But he just makes plays like that where he's just on the right place at the right time. Okay, so that's the type of players we need. We need an Amir Coffey on the floor who has a high net positive plus positive minus rating. When you have a high positive minus rating, that means you're efficient. Whenever you're on the court, that means your team is winning. Okay, so Ty Lue has to do a better job with these rotations. You're not going to have the same rotation, the same lineup every single game. Some games you're going to have to use more of your shooting. You're going to have to use Marcus Morris and Luke Kennard, right? And Reggie Jackson. Some games you're going to need more of your slashing and defense. You're going to need Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, Robert Covington. Those guys are going to be more on the court. And play Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson less. Play Luke Kennard less. It should never be a situation where you're having to play more guys or you run out of options because you got so many guys on that bench. So this is why I say to Ty Lue, I'm also looking at it like, is he gonna cost us this championship? Because with the roster they have right now, there is no excuse for them not to win a championship or get to the finals. There's no excuse. And when I look at the past, I see Ty Lue put us in bad situations where we have to crawl out of. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. I see too many situations where Ty Lue is too hesitant to make adjustments. He takes too long. If you're going to make the adjustment, you got to make it instantly, especially in the playoffs. We can't afford to be waiting until you actually get it through your head like this isn't working. right? So, if he makes bad adjustments again, is Ty Lue's job safe? Can you guys trust him to come back for next season? Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not. I've seen too many instances where he's just been making bonehead decisions. Yes, does he have moments where he does make sporadic comebacks? Yes. Is it times where he does, go for the Hail Mary? Yes. But if I look at this roster, that shouldn't be that hard to do because you got all the pieces already. It's like, okay, if you fix something in your house that's broken, let's say you fix the shower, you fix the shower head or something like that. If I got all the tools ready and already laid out and I do a great job of fixing it, yes, I did a great job, but I already have the tools to do it. You already have the team to already be successful. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's not so much that Ty Lue is just a great coach, as much as it's that you just got the team already suited for the playoffs. Anybody would love to have a team full of 3D guys and arguably the best duo, in my opinion, in the NBA. I mean, how could you really mess that up? All right, which brings me to the next thing. Paul George, man. I gotta talk to y'all about PG and how y'all feel about PG going into the playoffs this year. Okay, because I can't really believe we're talking about this again. But there's certain people that still just, I don't know, whatever it is, they can't get out their head or whatever it is about Paul George. It's just they still don't have this faith and trust him. I don't know why. Based off what his career has been, he's had some down moments and some down games, but he's had more great moments than bad moments. And I think we got to get it established what it means to be a team. I think we need to get it established based with Paul George from having bad series to having bad games. Okay? Like, if you look at his career in the playoffs, you can look at 2017 against the Utah Jazz where he had 5 points in the closeout game. But you got to look at that entire series and how much he averaged to get the full context of that series. He averaged more than 25 points in that whole series for the OKC Thunder. Right? No one talks about that. He was the best player on the Thunder. That was the year he won I think he was the MVP candidate. But he don't get talked about like that. Just remember Game 6 where they got, beat against the Utah Jazz and Joe Ingles mocking him on the court and he only had 5 points to finish the game. That's all people remember. Okay, then you look at the bubble in 2020. Okay, people say, okay, look at that closeout game, him hitting the side of the backboard, all that stuff. But they disregard everything that led up to the playoffs and what he was as far as, his production. If you look at his numbers, if you look at those games, he was pretty highly productive in the games leading up to it. Right? He was inconsistent at certain points, but there was a lot of games that he was actually playing very well. It was just people that remember that 2020 incident. Those are the two biggest hash marks on Paul George's career as far as him playing bad. Like, those are the two most talked about, pandemic P and, Paul George ain't clutch, Paul George ain't this. You can point out the playoffs in 2021 against the Suns where he missed 2 free throws, which a lot of people have done that. Magic Johnson missed 2 free throws. We see other great players miss free throws in the clutch. LeBron has missed free throws. Everybody has missed free throws at some point. But if you look at his entire career, it's just that he's been able to be one of the top players in the NBA, one of the most skilled players in the NBA, one of the most talented players in the NBA. Right? So, but people still feel like they can't trust this guy. They still can't trust Paul George, what he's able to bring to the table. So I don't know what this man has to do. He has to win a championship. What does he have to do to show that he's able to be on a championship team? All right, because we're not asking for Paul George to be the best player. We're asking him to be the complementary to Kawhi Leonard, which I feel like he's more than capable of doing because of what he's already done with his Clippers by himself. He's taken this team to the playoffs in 2021 when Kawhi goes down with an injury, his ACL injury. He leads them to beat the Utah Jazz. In the Sun series, he was the best player in that series, and he was leading entire playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists out of everyone. Right? After that year, I feel like he was a top 10 player. Then, yes, last year he gets hurt, so obviously he falls from the wayside. But before he got hurt, even last year, the Clippers were a top 4, top 5 seed. So I don't know what this man has to do to show that he's able to win a championship. He's able to come to a team. He's had multiple teams he's been on. He's been able to go to the playoffs every single year of his career. He's had 2 conference finals appearances on the East and Western Conference. They lost to a super team when he was with the Indiana Pacers with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Took him to 7 games. The next season, he takes them to 6 games in the conference semifinal. Right? So I can just keep going on. Like, I definitely see that. But to say that he's just somebody that has always been a choker and all this stuff, and he just is not. I think it's just a little bit overused and far fetched by the media. Salute, Jay Ferg. Make sure I hit that like button for your boy. Appreciate you coming in, brother. But let's talk about this last thing. I'll go ahead and put y'all in here so y'all can chat out with me. Put the link in here. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, to me, when they faced the Boston Celtics, was the best player on the court. Okay, I'm repeating. Kawhi Leonard, when they were on the court, he was the most efficient. Throughout the entire game, and before I even, put this out, that he would be the best player. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all hear me now? All right, can y'all hear me now? Oh, in the month of December, he's at 20 points per game. Yeah, he's averaging 20.3 points per game. And, okay, cool. Sorry about that. I'm on the road. He's averaging 20.3 points per game in the month of December. And I made sure to tell y'all this a few weeks ago. I said, don't pay attention to what the media is telling y'all that he's averaging 11 points. Guys like Nick Wright saying that he's not a top 20 player and all this nonsense. I said that he's going to, at some point, he's going to get back into his rhythm. And y'all see right there, this is the month of December, he's averaging 20 points per game. But this is what I said also is his Achilles heel. He's not taking enough shots. He's still not shooting the ball enough. And this has been Kawhi Leonard's entire career. You know, him playing with the Spurs is a gift and a curse because, yes, he plays winning basketball. Yes, he's unselfish. Yes, he makes winning plays. Yes, he's efficient. All that good stuff, right? Games like the Boston Celtics, we need him to get a more high volume of shots. Now, you can blame that a little bit also on the Clippers for not getting the ball in his spots that he need to get the ball to. But at the end of the day, I've seen Kawhi be able to score on multiple places on the court, whether it be on the perimeter, whether it be in the mid post, whether it be on the elbow, whether it be on the, in the post, whatever it may be on the court. I've seen Kawhi be able to be effective. So because you catch the ball on the 3-point line, don't mean you can't, score. You have a jab step, you have a, pull up three, you have a catch and shoot, you have all that in your bag. So again, it's nothing that he can't do on the court. Right? Kawhi Leonard, to me, he's at about 85% right now. Okay, Kawhi's about at 85% right now. And what he's doing with the Clippers, when he gets to 100% in about a month or so, it's going to be scary for the entire league. Because you see what he just did against the Boston Celtics. You saw what he did against the Philadelphia 76ers. Even though they lost the game, you see what he's getting back into, what his rhythm. And what I've noticed about Kawhi, when the stage gets bigger, that means his performance grows bigger. Right? When the stakes are higher, that's when he performs at his best. And those are what you call championship caliber players. Those are what you call winners. Those are what you call guys who are big on competitiveness. Right? I'm not concerned about Kawhi's production down the line in the playoffs. I know what I have. I know what history has told me. I know when it comes to playoff basketball, I know what Kawhi is. And that's the best player in the NBA. Name me somebody in the playoffs on both ends that will be able to dominate the way a Kawhi Leonard would. We all have our opinions. Some people say Giannis Antetokounmpo. Maybe some people may say Kevin Durant. Some people may say Luka Doncic. Some people may say Steph Curry. Some people may say Nikola Jokic. Some people may say you still got people say Anthony Davis. Like, it's just whatever your choice is, who you ever decide to pick. I'm going with Kawhi. He has the best winning percentage in NBA history. I've seen him in multiple playoff performances where he just dominates. Whether it be the 2017 Warriors, whether it been the 2019 Raptors when he beat the super team Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Jimmy Butler, whether when he beat Giannis Antetokounmpo 4 straight games, whether it was he beat Steph Curry in 2019, whether it had been in 2021 where he beat Luka Doncic in Game 6, playing both ways, whether it had been him before he got hurt against the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell, right? Whatever team he faces, he comes out on top. He's beat every other player. He's beat Kevin Durant. He's beat LeBron James. He's beat Luka Doncic. He's beat Joel Embiid. He's beat Jimmy Butler. He's beat everybody except one player, and that's Nikola Jokic in that West, outside of that bubble. And which I hope the Clippers get the Nuggets in the playoffs this year because I want that revenge. Right? So give me Kawhi Leonard. The efficiency is coming back. The dominance. I had no issue with him as far as just moving people around. Like, I already know what he is as far as his, it was just all about getting his timing back. So now that his timing is back on the court, it's going to be issues for the league. I'm just going to leave it at that. But let me go and put this link in the comments so y'all can come in here and tell me what y'all need to say. All right, we back. So there's a link right here. Y'all want to come in here, say y'all piece. All right, the link right there. If y'all want to come here and cook with your boy, I know it's pretty early right now. So what y'all think about the Clippers right now this week? What y'all think about Ty Lue? Do y'all have any concerns? What y'all think about PG? Can PG be a second option on this team? What y'all think about Kawhi? Would y'all take Kawhi or anybody else in the playoffs? What do y'all think about these things we're talking about? And we got to get these likes up too. We got over 11 people here. Let's get these likes up. Get these likes up. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday morning or a great Saturday night or whatever you guys out in the world. I hope everybody's having a great day, and New Year's is coming. So, yeah. So, I don't know if Bruce is in here or what. Let's look at some of these comments. Our slashers, if we're going, man, coffees are also net positive. They're both young. Yeah. I agree with that, Miss Collins. Thank you for offensive game set as far as plays and things for players to get their shots off. Then you just need to have ball movement. You just need to have guys attacking the basket and guys who can just stretch the floor. That's what you really need. Okay, you don't need a guy who stagnates the offense. You don't need guys that just dribble while people are just standing around, because then it becomes street ball. Right? Salute, Just Blaze, was good. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But at that point, it becomes street ball. You don't need guys that just stagnate the offense. Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, even Paul George to an extent. Now, Paul George is the second best player on his team, so he can get away with it. But you don't need guys that just stagnate the offense. You need guys to take 2-3 dribbles to the basket, kick it, or, dunk, layup, or shoot. You need guys to push the pace. You need Terrence Manns, right? You need John Walls. You need Robert Covington. You need high IQ players on the court. And it's a game by game basis. Some games you might not need Luke Kennard on the court. If he ain't shooting the ball, when he's shooting the ball, he looks great. I think Luke Kennard is one of the top 3 shooters in the league as far as, precision, efficiency, and just, knocking shots down. But if he ain't shooting the ball, then why is you even here? Go in and put Terrence Mann in. Go in and put Norm Powell in. Well, Norm Powell's getting his minutes regardless. Right? Put guys in that's suited for the actual game that you're playing against. Luke Kennard having 18, 17 points against the Detroit Pistons is not going to happen against a team like the Boston Celtics. It's not going to happen against a team like, even the Raptors, who are, they got long defenders. It's a lot tougher. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So that's my point, man. It's a lot of stuff that Ty Lue can do to make adjustments. He said he's trying to work on different rotations and combinations and all that. But my question to Ty Lue is, how much time do you need? Like, how much time do you need to really work on these things that you're claiming that needs to be worked out? Okay, we'll give you to All-Star break, right? We'll give you to All-Star break to get this. You should have it stamped, sealed, and delivered by All-Star break. Because if not, then you're gonna probably see these players, because they're already getting annoyed as it is. Like John Wall, I've already said, has been annoyed. You can imagine what Robert Covington's feeling, not getting no minutes, getting DNPs. Terrence Mann, I think even Terrence Mann is like looking at sometimes like, damn, I should be playing more than this. I feel like I can't get off. I can't make that jump because he keeps pulling my minutes. But you constantly will play, you know, Reggie Jackson, no matter how he plays. You'll constantly play Marcus Morris, no matter how he's playing. And I love Marcus Morris. But there's certain games, even for him, that's not going to be suitable. Right? So, yeah. Any comments about what we're talking about, man? Just go to put them in the comment section. I don't think Bruce is on right now. I think Bruce is off. But other than that, man, I hope everybody else is having a great day. Anything that y'all want to talk about amongst the whole league? You know what I'm saying? Salute, Mingo Jester. What's good, man? Hope you're doing well. I saw you on True to King's stream last night. That nigga be on live for 6-7 hours at a time. I'm like, bro, this nigga's still on live. But I was on there yesterday too. I talked about the Clippers and Celtics, and I was telling them that the Celtics team has a better organized team than the Clippers, but I think the Clippers still have a better duo. And that's what makes it more frustrating. Like, it would be nothing more irritating than having the better team, but you are the better duo, the better guys, but you can't get it done because your coach is holding you back. It's nothing more worse than that type of feeling. Right? Oh, yeah, man. Shaft, what's up, brother? Shaft 9000 said, man's our best defender of attack, best point of attack defender. Reggie gets smoked constantly, then he doesn't move the ball on the O. That's what I wanted to talk about. Not only that, I appreciate the comment, Shaft 9000. It's somebody told me this. I said, why don't they start John Wall by now? They should have already started this man. And somebody told me, I can't remember who it was. They said if we bring Reggie off the bench, it's gonna defer his confidence. And I said, okay, well, my thing is Reggie will be better off the bench anyway. Reggie's already more comfortable to me off that bench. So I don't know why he would take that person. That's number one. And then number two, Reggie, you guys got to remember, Reggie's been carrying a heavy load since last year. He's been playing a lot of games with Marcus Morris since last year. He's been leading the charge since last year. So what does that mean? He has not gotten a lot of breaks to really recover and rest his body. And I've noticed Reggie limping around quite often. I don't know if y'all saw this too, but I've noticed that he's been limping around quite often. And he doesn't seem all the way healthy at times. You know, whether it be his ankle, whether it be his foot. I think I saw something, yesterday about his Achilles or whatever. And if that's the case, he needs to sit down and get some rest. And that would be an opportunity to let other guys, you know what I'm saying, get their deserved minutes because Reggie's going to play regardless, so he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to really work for his time. He ain't going to be pushed out the rotation. Like, he's going to get his 20, 25 minutes, at least 25 minutes a game. But, yeah, Terrence Mann deserves to at least 15, at least 17, 18 minutes a game, at least, just by what he brings to the table. What's up, Theo? He said, what it do, BJ? What's going on with the Clippers losing lineups on closing lineup on these games? Yeah, bro, we talked about that. Appreciate that comment. It's just Ty Lue's, saying he's trying to experiment, but I think it's basically you have to do this by situation basis because we're not just your average team that you just have the same lineup after every game, bro. That's just not who we are. We got too much depth on our team, which is a good thing if you know how to actually work it. Now, if you don't know how to, manage it, then it becomes bad. Which Herm, said that, I'm saying not too long ago that Ty Lue's going to match all these different lineups. So, like, he's having trouble doing that. But my thing is this: you have to go by game situation. You have to look at your personnel and say, okay, what personnel is best suited for this official game? Okay, Boston, you need more attack guys. You need more athletic guys to match up with, their defenders. You don't need guys who can't play make, like a Luke Kennard. You don't need guys like that on the court. You need Terrence Manns. You need Amir Coffees. You need those type of guards on the court. Now, a game where it requires you to shoot the ball more and catch more catch and shoots. Okay, Luke Kennard would be perfect. Marcus Morris would be perfect. But if you can't play D and you can't really create your own shot, then you kind of a detriment against young athletic teams and great defensive teams. Okay? Especially with us not having a real offensive system. We need a lot of guys who could, attack the basket by their own natural ability. Lou makes me shake my damn head. Yeah, he makes me shake mine too. Right? And I read this on Facebook not too long ago. Somebody said that Ty Lue's been like this since the Cleveland days, where he would do a lot of boneheaded plays in the season. But when it comes to the playoffs, that's when he brings out all his magic tricks. So when I hear stuff like that, I don't look at it like, okay, this is just a situation where, Ty Lue's put in a bad spot. No, I don't look at it like that no more. I'm looking at this is just who he is. Whether the team is fully there or not, this is just who he is. He has a lot of Doc Rivers in him. I said it before. Doc Rivers and him are similar. The only difference is that when Doc Rivers gets down, he'll stay down. Or he will not actually fight, get back up. Ty Lue actually get up and actually fight back. But as far as him getting in bad situations, making bonehead dumb plays and not doing the simple things right, he has times where he constantly gets in his own way. I mean, that's what I've noticed. Theo Hall said Ty Lue needs to let PG or Kawhi take more control of the offense during the start of the fourth quarter for them to set the tone, I think. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is quarter, yes. I think when the crunch I'm back. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. Can y'all hear me? Ty Lue, yeah, he's doing. I think when you have your best players get the ball in their hands in the end, okay, that's cool. But the duration of the game, I think you need to allow your point guard to do that because players get tired at the end of the day. Players get tired, so if you having them play defense, score, shoot, that's just too much. That was my issue with him running the offense through PG last game because you're putting too much. You're putting too much on one guy to the point where they can't have the other players do their actual roles. You can't allow John Wall to be a point guard because you got him sitting in the corner catching and shooting threes or trying to do pull-up jump shots. That's not John Wall's game. His game is to get off in a transition on offense and feed guys and make plays. That's what John Wall does. That's why you picked him up, I thought. Lue makes smart adjustments, but he's slow getting there, and he misses opportunities to win large. He drops a game or two before he wakes up. The dude gets spit. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much in a nutshell what it is. He drops games, and he really, like the games that we ain't really had too many blowout games in our favor. Most of these games are close, but we shoot ourselves in our own foot. And that's a frustrating feeling to have. It's one thing for you not to have the depth or the talent on the team. It's a whole thing for you to actually have it, and still, it's one thing if you actually have it and still be struggling. That's a coaching issue. So yeah, that's correct. That's a correct statement. Shaft 9000. Yeah, Ty Lue takes too long to make adjustments, and he misses opportunities for blowouts because of his rotations, whether it be him not having a real offensive game plan, whatever, just simple things. So, yeah. But no coach is perfect. Everybody has flaws, but I just think, that's a serious question to have because, I mean, if you look at the Western Conference, if you look at, like, the Pelicans, like, they're a team that can exploit our bad coaching. I think Willie Green's a very, very good coach, and I think they have a team that really fits well together. Right? But luckily, guys like, the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, in my opinion, Eric Spoelstra, those two are in the East. Greg Popovich is one of the great coaches, old coaches, but their team is just so young, they're not going anywhere. Mike Brown is a good coach too. So, I mean, if we face the Kings, I mean, that can get a little bit dicey. But the difference is that we got, Kawhi and Paul George, and they don't. Like I said, that's where it's going to come down to. Yes, we have the better players, but we can get out coached and we'll be in a bad situation. Right? But, again, I just dropped the link. If anybody want to come in here, y'all can come in here. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I just want to kind of chop it up with y'all for a little bit. Or he needs to take the defensive approach and start T-Man, PG, and Kawhi with then Morris with Norm in there. So you can have big stops needed and have superstar mainly Kawhi close. Yeah, I would put Terrence Mann in my finishing lineup. I mean, you could put him in your starting I would have him at least in one of those categories. If you need like a good start, if you need a start where you want your players, you want the team to get off to a good start Terrence Mann and bring Reggie Jackson off that bench. If you want, to close the deal, then Terrence Mann, playing with Kawhi, I think is a good. I think Terrence Mann playing with Kawhi and PG is a good fit because he doesn't need a lot of shots, and he's gonna make a lot of key plays with rebounds, steals, being in the right position, all that good stuff. You guys gotta remember, Terrence Mann's his mother is an actual coach, so you gotta know he's been been around basketball his entire life. He was taught the fundamentals of the game, the IQ of the game. And you can just see it when he's on the court, what he does. So, yeah, you can put him in the end or the beginning, honestly. But Ballmer should look into bringing on somebody that knows how to build an offense like Mark Jackson. You know what? I would have to think about that because Mark Jackson is, yes, he's an offensive guru. What he with the Warriors. The thing that I'm a little bit concerned with though is he's been away from coaching for so long. How will he fit with this team, this Clipper team? Yes, he had Steph and Clay outside shooters and all that stuff, but how will he fit with this team? You know what I'm saying? I would go for more. My opinion, if I wanted to get another coach, I would go for Ime Udoka. That's who I would go with, because Ime Udoka, if he did what he did to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and them last year, what you guys think he will do with Kawhi and Paul George, who are to me a better duo, more seasoned, more championship experience, or more? You know what I'm saying? What do you think they're going to do with those two in that team? Because essentially, like Jason Tatum and what Paul George what he said was right. Them and the Celtics are very similar as far as the two-way play of, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are very similar to Kawhi and Paul George. So if he was able to do that to them, what makes y'all think that he ain't gonna be able to supersede this team? And he just, to me, makes better. He seems to me he's more prepared. He's more prepared for his game plans. He executes his game plans more thoroughly. But Mark Jackson, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think Mark Jackson's a high character man. I think he's a guy who, is no nonsense, but I think he's fair. And I think, those guys will respect him. I think they would. And he's also when he was playing as a point guard in his days, he was actually very good. Definitely agree. Great. I appreciate you, Theo. Appreciate you. Yeah, Udoka's another. There aren't many good coaches floating around. They're not. If you look at just the league, across the league, look at who's the great coaches in the league, in our league right now. You got, Ty Lue. You got Eric Spoelstra. You got Greg Popovich. You got J.B. Bickerstaff. You got the coach from Memphis. You got Mike Brown. You got Steve Kerr, which to me, Steve Kerr, and sometimes I get a little bit, I don't know. Because, okay, let's talk about Steve Kerr for a minute. So y'all know my guy, Real Eleazy. If y'all know Real Eleazy, he's one of our, main people that come on here. He's a Warrior fanatic, Warrior fan. Just Blaze, another one, he's a Warrior fan. But Real Eleazy, he knows his basketball. Go to his YouTube page. It's called REAL/EELEEZY, Real Eleazy. And you'll see his page pop up. But he talks about the Warriors all the time. Great in-depth analysis. Very funny content creator. You know what I'm saying? But he spoke about Steve Kerr many times. And he don't think Steve Kerr's a really good coach. And when you kind of look at the Warriors, when they don't have Steph on the court like they have now, they're struggling. When they didn't have Klay Thompson just, 2 seasons ago before they won the championship, they were one of the bottom teams in the whole league. Like, no one saw the Warriors doing what they did last year. So when Steve Kerr has his full team, he's great. Yeah, when you got the best backcourt shooting duo in the league, you look great. But when you don't have all your horses in the barrel, then you have bad records. The difference between him and Ty Lue is that Ty Lue didn't have Kawhi all last season. He didn't have Paul George more than 33, 34 games. And he still was able to get that team over 40 wins. So I say that to say this. I mean, Steve Kerr, you can say because he's won championships, he's a great coach. But as far as working with less, could he do what Greg Popovich could do? Could he do what Ty Lue could do? Could he do what Eric Spoelstra could do? Could he do what JB Bickerstaff could he do what these other coaches can do with less? But yeah, there's not really a bunch of great coaches in the league. But I think Ime Udoka would be a very fitting coach for this team. I also believe they should let Kawhi's minutes restriction go and have him at least play a few back-to-backs from here on out. You know what? I think they're gonna probably start letting him play more minutes like after January, because the back-to-backs are pretty much over. Like I think there's like probably I could count on one hand back-to-backs left. So they're probably not even. They want him to be 100% come the playoffs. They're looking at the long-term goal, which I get it, but you do need to let these guys play more and more. So, Kawhi seems healthy as far as his body. It's just him getting his full 100%. Physically, skill-wise, mentally, all that stuff down. That 100%. I think he's about 80% right now, 85 maybe. So, but yeah, I get you what you're saying, though, Theo. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, man, this is very exciting, man. I can't wait for the playoffs. I cannot wait for what the Clippers are going to do, because I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think they're going to be a problem. And they just got to be able to be on point, man. They can't allow little mishaps to happen throughout the rest of the season. It can't be allowed. All right. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're 10 people here, so let's get those likes up. Y'all got any last comments, man? Any lasting comments? He said mentally Kawhi is always there. I know, but it's the team mindset I'm worried about, like other guys with their guy. Yeah, okay. That's a good point. So I think, and this is what I go back to when I say you being the best player and you building a culture. It goes back to what I said numerous times, Theo. Based off of your best player is basically that's how your team is made up. That's your team's makeup. If your team is a tough, resilient team, a team that seems to, be resilient in tough situations, that means you have a very tough leader. You have a very, the best players that like that. Look at the Miami Heat. They have Jimmy Butler as their leader of that team, and the Miami Heat is a very tough, resilient team. If you look at a team like the Boston Celtics, they had Ime Udoka as their leader. Right? If you look at a team like the San Antonio Spurs, yes, they're not like the greatest team as far as, experience and talent, but if you watch the Spurs games, I watch their whole league, they still do things right. They still make the right pass, the right cuts, the right movement because of Greg Popovich. So whoever is in charge, whether it be the coach or the best player, whoever it is, that's how your team is made up. That's how the makeup of your team. So Kawhi, go back to what Kawhi, I think that when you see him play, they're going to come with him. We've already seen what the Clippers are without Kawhi and Paul George. You saw what they did last year, how tough they are as a team, how much they fight, how resilient they are. So I think they will come. Let me scratch that. I know they're going to come with Kawhi, because why would you sit up there and play your heart out last year and not do it this year? Why would you not put your all faith and trust into your leader when you just saw last year what he did, what y'all did without him. If I'm the Clippers, I'm urged about having my best player back in the court. But I get what you're saying. You're saying Kawhi Leonard's always locked in as the other players. I mean, I'm not asking him to be the same as Kawhi because to me, he's just he's a different beast. I'm just asking for them just to come with the ride. I'm asking for Paul George to be the second best player on any team they face. I'm asking for Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson to, fall into their roles. I'm asking for John Wall to be our solid point guard. I'm asking for Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard to be our glue guys. I'm asking for Nicholas Batum and Robert Covington when he gets his minutes or if he starts these days with team to be our glue guys. Amir Coffey, be ready. Visca Zubac, still be that dominant force in the paint, protecting the basket and, getting dunks and things of that nature. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for you to be Superman like Kawhi because there's only one Kawhi Leonard. But I'm asking for you guys just to come for the ride. That's all I'm asking for, right? Shab 9000 said it ain't rocket science. They just have to make a few adjustments and perhaps pick up a backup big and trade Mook or Reggie, and they can all go the way. Yeah, it's really not rocket science, Shab, and I appreciate that comment. These are very, very. This is not out. This ain't calculus. This is very, very correctable. Coach on a game-by-game basis or a situation-by-situation basis. You're not having to do a whole bunch of work because you got the tools right there to already be successful. You got the players, you got the 3D guys, you got the shooters, you got the scores, you got the slash, you got all the pieces to whatever situation is thrown at you. You just got to say, okay, Mook, you're going to be playing 25, 30 minutes tonight. Terrence Mann, you're going to be playing 25, 30 minutes tonight. Luke Kennard is going to be playing 25, 30 minutes tonight. I don't know, John Wall, you're going to be playing more minutes tonight than Reggie. That's all you have to really do. You don't have to really think too much about it. It's already right there in front of you. The pieces are right there. The personnel is right there. All you got to do is reach in your toolbox, look at the tools that you have, and pull out the tools that's going to be suited for that specific game. Right? Now, as far as trading Mook and Reggie, I don't think they're going to really do that because they've been with them. You got to remember, too, people got to also remember this is also an emotional thing. You got to look at what Mook and Reggie's been to the Clippers the last 2 seasons. Reggie basically took a pay cut to be with the Clippers for a 2-year deal. He basically led this team last year without Paul George and Kawhi. He basically was the best player on the team if you really want to be precise about it. A lot of big games that Reggie had last year. So I don't think the Clippers are looking at all this stuff. Ty Lue, that's his guy. Paul George, that's his guy. People love Reggie Jackson on the team. If you look at if you really look at the whole situation, the Clipper Nation, they love Reggie Jackson. So I don't think they're going to trade Reggie really off by the trade deadline, especially if they're on route to trying to get a championship. Now, if whatever happens after the fact this year, then all bets are off. But they're not going to trade Reggie right now. As far as Mook, Mook, I love Mook. I think he's our heart and soul of this team. I think he's a guy who makes big shots. I think he's a guy that does, do the little, as far as him, be a tough shot maker. And he's a tough guy on our team. You need that on a championship team. You need toughness. Now, my thing is don't get rid of them. Just put them in positions where they excel in and put them in situations where they're going to flourish. That's your job as the coach. And I ask for Mook and Reggie just to do their role. That's all I ask them to do. You think a lineup of Norman, Man, Amir, Batum, Rocco could work? That's a hit or miss because with that lineup, then Norman's the best player on the team. So it depends who they're playing. If they're playing, if you put up that lineup against the Celtics, they're going to struggle because you still got to deal with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right? You still got to deal with those two monsters. So you still got to have your stars on the floor. So I think it'll be a good, as far as, for energy-wise, that's a good, but you still got to be able to put the ball in the basket. I think Norm it can give you 20, but outside of Norm, who's really giving you 20 on a night-to-night basis on that roster? Terrence Mann is not giving you 20 every night. You might catch him, a few games out the year to give you that. Amir, he's capable, but he doesn't do it enough. Batum and Rocco, they're great catch and shoot three. They're the same person. They're the same player. So they're kind of undersized. You need to have like another big with them to, for that to work. You don't need to beat both on the court. Right? We have the talent and the roster to secure a top 3 or top 5 spot, but what seed do you think the Clippers will end up at the end of the season? We'll be a top 4 seed, in my opinion. I'm not taking nothing less than 4. We don't need to be 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, we're already number 4 right now. We're only like a 2-game difference for, I think, the first place, 2 or 2.5 game difference. So I think the Clippers will go on a run. If it's not January, but after All-Star break, we'll probably go on a run as far as game-wise. So, I think they'll be a top 4 seed. Yeah, I think it's how they're used. Trouble is used is these guys become less useful as playoffs get deeper. Too much dead ball, and traffic. Well, this is why I say they need to let John Wall be John Wall, because if you just allow Paul George and Kawhi to create, it's gonna. You're basically you don't have a guy to push the pace. Like, Kawhi's not pushing the pace. Paul George ain't push. Those are separation players. Those are guys who are half-court players. Those are guys that operate in the half-court. Marcus Morris is more of a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. Reggie Jackson's more of a herky-jerky, isolation player. Like, none of those guys push the pace. So you got to have a guy like a John Wall out there to get open shots. The man is average. Do y'all know John Wall has averaged 9 assists his whole career? And with less talent around him. So why would I not utilize that weapon? Yeah, if you don't have a point guard to get these guys the ball, they're gonna be useless. But if you got a John Wall on the court that's actually setting these guys up and pushing the pace, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris is gonna be open for jump shots, and that's when they're gonna look very, 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 very attractive. You know what I'm saying? So I think they got to basically allow John Wall to be the point guard of this team, man. And Ty Lue is not allowing that. He's still trying to play through Paul George. PG, shit, like you said, down the line, let him play. Like, play through Kawhi and Paul George by all means. But during the course of the game, let these other guys play what their roles are, man. Or is they going to be sitting around with their head chopped off, not knowing what to do? Too many hats on one guy. These guys equal Mook and Reggie. Yeah, Ty Lue like it. Yep. He's too smart for his own good at times. Theo Hall said also Batum is their glue guy. Like, I believe he should be in the closing defensive line for sure. He's the key. But yeah, when Nicholas Batum, another high IQ player, a guy that's able to, being helped inside the defensive situations, a guy that's able to, hit open threes, and doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And he's able to guard multiple positions. There's times Nico will guard the point guard, will pressure the point guard up the court. So he's 6'8", 6'9", and that's a valuable piece. But that's what Rocco is too, which doesn't make sense to me. And why I'm thinking this is something behind the scenes personal. Why this man ain't getting no minutes? If Rocco don't get minutes by the end of January, then there's something going on. There's something going on personally that we don't know about, because that doesn't make sense for him to put this guy who's able to do all the same stuff that Nicholas Batum can do, is a younger version of Nicholas Batum, and you got him on the bench. And then the reason he gave was because he was giving the minutes to Terrence Mann. Well, you ain't even giving Terrence Mann minutes. So where are all these minutes going? Kawhi ain't playing back-to-backs. There's plenty of situations you could have played Rocco at least 20 minutes for a game, right? Salute, by the way, one of the smartest podcasts. Yeah, I appreciate you, Theo Shaft. Appreciate you for commenting. You got some good comments as well. Make sure y'all share the podcast with your friends and family, my man. Appreciate y'all coming here. But let's continue to get the podcast out there so more people can listen in and more people can talk about the soup knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I always appreciate what y'all bring to the podcast, though. You think Ty Lue is holding this team back from reaching? Yeah, I do. I do, Jay Fur. I really do. That's why I came out with the question: could Ty Lue possibly put us in a bad spot as far as championship wise? I mean, as far as not getting us the championship. If we lose this opportunity, I feel like it's gonna be because of Ty Lue. I don't think that you have this type of roster and lose a championship. I just don't see it. Steve Ballmer has spent a lot of money on his roster. Could you imagine him spend all that money and still not getting to the finals at least? That would be a disaster. The Clippers need to stop shooting all these threes. Reggie needs to be told to take better. Yeah, but that's who Reggie is, man. Like, Reggie is gonna be Reggie. He's gonna be Reggie though. That's who he's gonna be. So okay, it's kind of like Russell Westbrook. Okay, Russell Westbrook in his heyday, explosive athlete, explosive player, high energized, exciting to watch, all that with OKC, right? Triple-double king, all that stuff. But he was very low IQ. He did not make winning plays. He did not make a lot of winning plays. So, with that being said, you can't. It's hard for us to really. When people watch Russell Westbrook, they say, "Yeah, he makes spectacular highlights," but this guy's dumb as a box of rocks. But you deal with him because of what he brings on the good side of things, like what he's able to bring energy, bring production stat-wise. He's able to do all those things for you, so you deal with that. That's what you have to almost do with these players. Like, you gotta give them, you gotta let their strengths be their strengths and try to hide their weaknesses as much as you can. That's what you really have to do. So I agree with they need to stop shooting so many threes and take more smarter shots. And that's why I'm so glad Kawhi is on the team, because when he's on this court, you could tell things are more and more in sync. I don't think we even gotten blown out not one game since Kawhi's been back. I don't think we've been blown out one time. Every time that we played, it's been a close game. So that shows you that they're not making as many mistakes as they used to make. Right? Back steal, and he just shoots light around solid. Now he's like a Robert. Or yep. Yeah, I definitely agree on that one. I was just thinking the same thing last game. The Clippers half-court team, they play way too slow at times. They gotta have that guy to push the pace on. Oh yeah, look at Boston. Look how Boston played. Marcus Smart was pushing the pace. Derek White pushing the pace. Like, those guys get out in transition, and they got a more smooth offensive half-court set. When you saw backcourt, you saw backdoor cuts, you saw screening, you saw ball move, you saw all that stuff. With us, it's dribble, ISO between the legs. You know what I'm saying? Cool play, all that stuff. It's like, if we had a real set offense, could you imagine what more damage we would have done with a real set offense? Hell, the only guy who really pushed the pace outside of John Wall is Norman Powell. Norman Powell is one of the best downhill drivers to the basket we have in this league, man. But he ain't no point guard. He ain't no facilitator. But he's a guy that just attack mode, just gets people and just gets buckets. That's what he do. That's what Norman Powell do. So you use him. You can use all these guys can play on and be a good player on any team in the league. So you got to make it where, okay, yeah, it's a lot of depth, but damn it, you got to be able to use it, make the most of it. You don't throw away depth. You don't throw away depth. You utilize it. You make it work. That's like throwing away food that you don't finish. You don't throw it away. You save it for later. It's the same thing. He said, "Look at Brooklyn. Ben Simmons pushing the pace as well." And so, yeah. This is what I said with the Nets. They don't need Ben Simmons to shoot. They need him to be Ben Simmons. People wanted Ben Simmons to change his game. My thing is he never had to be different in his whole career. Why start now? And you got two offensive prime scorers in KD and Kyrie. All they need Ben Simmons to do is just be a defensive player and push the pace. That's all they need him to do. That's it. And now look at him. Ben Simmons is thriving with this Brooklyn team. So, yeah, play for Key. Appreciate the comment, bro. Theo Hall said that's why having a point guard is so essential to today's game, yo. Yeah. Having a point guard, see, but the thing about now, you guys already noticed that point guards are not really around anymore. They don't really have point guards anymore. Like, mostly point guards are two guards and point guards' bodies. They shoot the ball, get shots up, score. That's what they do. They're not really point guards anymore. So, yeah. Make sure y'all keep hitting that like button. Make sure y'all keep hitting that like button for your boy. I got a little bit more time. He said, we won't get great looks in the half court until we pass the ball faster than D can move. Basic basketball 101. Even simple pick and rolls and smiles better than dribble. Yeah. So what I've noticed with us, bro, what the Clippers are doing, they're doing a lot of curl action with Luke Kennard. And they're doing a lot of, the same thing with Norman Powell, like off the top of the key. Like he'll come off a curl action with probably Zubac or somebody else, another big, and just drive to the basket and look for, contact. Norman Powell can get his shot off without really real offense. He can get his shot off already because he's such a great downhill player. But I watch their offense is stagnant. They don't. Because Ty Lue ain't got them in a real offense. So it's like I said yesterday, it's almost as if they're trying to create their own offense. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. Yeah, pick and rolls are meant to get your ball handlers open. Picks are used to get your shooters open. Picks are used just to get anyone open on the court. And sometimes it's not even to score the ball. Sometimes it's just meant to, get a better pass or a better angle to a better pass. It's used for a number of things. OC Love, what's good, brother?
What's up, bro?
Man, I'm glad you came on, bro. I appreciate you coming through, man. What's good?
No, man, I just pulled up. I just seen you came online, man. I ain't really up on what's the show about. What's the show about today?
So we're talking about basically the number of things. We're talking about Ty Lue, his coaching, and also what you think about Paul George. Can you trust Paul George to lead us as a second option to the finals? And do you think Kawhi Leonard, where do you think he's at right now? So kind of just your analysis on like all three, what you've been seeing so far.
Well, how about I put it to you like this? Yes, I trust Paul George as a second option. That's the answer to that. I like the way Kawhi is looking so far. I think he's getting there. I think he's slowly but surely getting back to himself. Now, as far as the coaching, don't get me wrong. I trust Ty Lue as a coach. I think he's a strong coach. He's good at in-game adjustments in the playoffs and stuff like that. But he killing me with this not playing Norman. I'm not Rocco. He killing me with that, man. I'm really flabbergasted on why he can't find minutes for Rocco.
Yeah, I said to myself, I don't like how they're treating Rocco, man. Like it's because like you gotta remember, like I've been in circles with this like personally. Like I know what it's like, and I've seen some of my teammates. They that they should be playing, but for whatever reason, their beef with the coach or whatever the reason why they're not playing minutes, it's like it takes an effect on you game by game. And like if I look at Rocco, he hasn't really touched the floor since they played the Suns, which was on December, I think 13th or 15th.
How
He's
many
been
games?
getting okay. Well, if you look at it right here, let me pull it up. Let me see. Okay, listen. This is him right here. This is all the games right here. So if you look at all, he ain't really played since the Phoenix game.
And that's like almost 10 games ago. Because what I heard is Ty Lue like to work in 10-game sample sizes, but it's coming up on the time when you had 10 games to evaluate who you want to evaluate. Rocco need to be getting some minutes, man.
Yeah, that's why I heard a little interview I was saying earlier. Like Ty Lue came out as like a 50-second interview. He said, he's trying different things out. He had a conversation with Rocco, and he said he appreciated him for, being sacrificing and things of that nature. He's gonna get his opportunity. And then he said, well, I'm giving Terrence Mann, he played well, so that's why he's been getting some of his minutes. I said, well, hold on. First of all, Terrence Mann don't even play the same position as Rocco. So what you mean you giving him his minutes? And number two, there's a lot of games you're not even giving Terrence Mann a lot of minutes. Like you played him 5 minutes against the Celtics.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm like, and I've noticed with Ty Lue over the last couple of years, I don't know if you noticed it, but he, even with T-Man, like, he's hesitant to give him minutes.
Right.
So I kind of felt like that was like
it's almost like he's fell in love with offense. He used to be a defensive coach.
yeah, with Cleveland, he did, right?
Right. He used to be a defensive coach. Now it's like he's fell in love with offense. The last for the last I say about 20 or so games, like he ain't been focusing on defense. He been focusing on offense.
Right. Yeah, and my thing is with Reggie, bro, like you still just giving him 25, 30 minutes a game, and you can cut that shit. You can cut that shit.
Minutes, yeah. Like I like Reggie and big moments. He does make big shots, but overall in between that, you can cut some of them minutes. He don't need those minutes to be. He don't need that.
Bro, but there's been games where the dude's played 27, 28 minutes and have like 8 points.
Right. He don't need those minutes.
You know what I'm saying? And Jay Ferg brought up a point. He said, you think if things don't improve with this team that the Clips let go of Ty Lue during the season. What's your take on that?
Probably not during the season, because I think he's earned the right to make it to the playoffs and see what he does in the playoffs. I think that front office will look at it like that. But if he don't do something in the playoffs, they might be like, maybe he's the problem. Now I can see that. I can see that. I can see them changing. If he don't do nothing in the playoffs, but I don't really see them like killing him before the playoffs. I don't really see that.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I think if they do let him off, it's gonna be it'll be after the season.
Right.
Like if they don't get to at least the finals this year, bro. Because to me, it can't be conference finals or 2 seconds. It can't be that.
No,
it gotta be the finals.
Yeah, we got a better team than that.
Yeah, so if they don't get to the finals,
unless we have like a major injury or something like that, that's the only way I could see them, giving them a break. But if he underachieves, like if we go out in the first or second round, he gone. I think so.
To have to go through that, man. So I don't think we can't afford to have that type of letdown again. But Neat said BJ's Clippers would be a much better team if Kennard, T-Man, and Roku got all their minutes. What you think about that?
I agree. They should be the front runners for minutes off the bench. You know, him with Norman Powell in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like Nico Batum, he's limping around the game. This is what really threw me off.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Nico, but he was hurting that game.
Right, and
I'm all for Nico getting minutes. I don't care what he's doing. Even if he's having a bad game, he can do stuff in between. You know his mistakes that he can make up for it. He's that type of player. So I can understand him getting minutes regardless. But all this not playing Rocco at all, not playing Terrence Mann, but 5 minutes, that he got to cut that out, man. He's a better coach than that. I don't know what is the I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him.
Okay, yeah, I don't know it either. 1 second, bro. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
No doubt. Yeah, Chad. I don't know what's going on with that, man. Like he's been all offense lately. I don't get this sacrificing of defense he's been stuck on lately. And it's not like Rocco is a bad offensive player. He can hit threes. He cuts to the basket. He's solid on a little post up game. So I don't know. I don't get it. Do they have a trade line up or something? I don't know, man. I don't get it. No, I do think there was a couple times when he got in the game, when he did play this season, where he was getting blowed by, but that happens to Morris all the time.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, so
I was kind of just spitting out some thoughts to the chat. So
yeah, he said, yeah, man. He said T-Man and Luka are good on the court together, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they good on the court together. It just again it goes back to what I always been saying. It depends on the type of game you're playing.
facts.
Like Luke against the Celtics was not a good game from the play because the speed of the game, the athleticism that they had on the Celtics, the length they had, like
They was
Luke
swarming
struggled.
on him. Yeah, they
They
weren't
was all on him.
shot offs.
Right. There was just too much, physicality in that game where Luke he's a shooter. So he's not able to like do what he needs to do as far as, what I'm saying, get his shots off. Now a team that's not as physical on defense, oh yeah, Luke would be, knocking shots down, knocking threes down all over the place. But, the Celtics is like, okay, well, this guy this is not the game he needs to be playing. That was more sort of a game for a Terrence Mann or for Norman Powell and Robert, like more athletic guys.
Facts.
So salute Cam the Hooper. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We got about over 10 people here, so let's hit that like button.
Jay said it raises blood pressure.
Yeah, real talk. Can't watch the game no more. They raise my but see, that's what they can raise your blood. It's like this. I said this. There's a frustrating thing. Hold on one second.
Yeah, they're capable of raising your blood pressure. That's for sure.
All
Right.
right. Said real talk. I can't watch the Clippers. They run my blood pressure. Yeah, and that's what happened with the Pistons, man. Like I couldn't believe what happened.
Right. Right.
I'm like, this game is over, and
Right. I
I'm
had
like,
cut. No, real talk. I had cut the game off. I got so pissed off with them. I cut the game off. But then no, real talk.
me
I
too,
cut
me
the game.
too. Yeah, that's
I
why I'm
cut the
laughing.
game off, and then I
Yeah,
calmed down. I turned it back on just in time to watch them come back.
yeah. I cut the game off, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And then I'm like, the Pistons really? So then I looked, and I said, okay, well, they're down by 2 points. Okay, what the hell? Now they were down by 14 points with like 3 minutes left,
Right.
and then they came back and won in overtime. And then the Celtics, I was even more mad because I'm like, bro, we really could have won that game too.
Facts.
Like we really had that game won. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I kind of put this, and it might sound crazy, but I kind of put that on Kawhi our last game. It's not because he did anything like wrong. It's the fact that he didn't shoot the ball enough. Because he was so, I felt he was the best player on the court.
No, he definitely was. But you know, you gotta realize though, I understand where you're going with it, but you gotta understand he come from that pop system where he came in as a role player, so he still kind of has to trick himself in it, out of reverting back to that. He got, you know, I mean, he got to. Sometimes he has to remember that, you know, you the man now. You can't be the no role player no more. You got to take over. And by him just building his stuff back up, I kind of understand, you know, with them triple teaming him and you know, he made a lot of good passes out of the triple team and double team. So I kind of let him have a pass on that game, but you know, he can't do that in the playoffs. You know, he got to be the man. You still there?
Still here, bro. I'm listening.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of understand with him just building his stuff back up. I kind of understand why. And taking into account all the double team and triple teams they were sending at him, I kind of understand him, you know, not taking over the game like we would have liked to see. But you know, I mean, he can't be like that in the playoffs. He got to be old Toronto, 21. He got to be 21-19 Kawhi in the playoffs. He can't be, you know what I mean, reverting back to role player Kawhi.
Yeah, and that's why I said, man, and I was just trying to figure out, like, he had 16 shots in the whole game, and he shot 63% from the field. So my thing is, if you're doing that, like, and you have 26 points, and you shoot 50% from the three, and I look at guys like Tatum and Brown, who had 29 points each, but look at their field goal percentage.
Facts.
Look how bad they shot from the field.
Facts.
So you shoot 39%, you're Jason Tatum. You shoot 48%, Jaylen Brown. You're both under 50% on both of these guys. Jaylen Brown goes 0 for 8 from 3. Tatum goes 3 for 11 from 3. That's not good. And that's without them being double teamed.
Right. Most of those shots they missed was when PG and Kawhi was on them.
Yeah. Most of the times that, and this is why I say Tatum and Brown are not better than Kawhi and PG. It didn't matter. Like, Kawhi and PG, they didn't want no parts of them. Like, right. Tatum and Brown, I mean, Kawhi was guarding Jaylen Brown, and PG would guard Jason Tatum. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you didn't see them really guarding Kawhi and PG. They put Derek White, Marcus Smart. They were doubling Kawhi. Like, that just shows you right there. Like,
they were sending triples at Kawhi too. They was not only double team, they were sending triples at him too.
They were saying triple teams, bro. Like that just goes to show you who's the better players. And then Dejan said they won though. Yeah, they won.
They did.
That's cool. But what happened when they won 2 weeks ago? Did you have that same energy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't have it one way. Like, that game Boston won was a team collaborative effort. The game the Clippers beat their ass, that was a pure domination.
Right. Right.
So,
But you know what? You know what's encouraging that I'm seeing though. Like I know Kawhi, his season numbers don't look sexy to most people, but what's encouraging for me about how he's looking is that when it's a big game or it's a game he want to play in, he locked in and he's very efficient in those last little games where it's been big games like the Philly game, like the last Boston game, this Boston game. Like he's had little bad shooting nights in between that, but when it's a big game, he locked in.
Yeah, when he has a big shooting game, he's definitely locked in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then that's why his numbers don't do him any justice.
Whenever it's a big matchup where he know where they're a good team we playing, it seems like every game we've had since he came back, where it's a big opponent, he been locked in. Very efficient. And that's encouraging. That's encouraging going forward.
What you think about this trade?
Trade Mook and Wall for Jakob Poeltl. Why Wall got to be in that trade?
Yeah, I don't want Wall gone, bro. Like you don't trade a point guard. Like they're not using Wall. Like Blue's not losing Wall right. He's trying to use him as a knockdown shooter and mid-range pull-up guy. Like all that's never been Wall's game.
No, he need to be in the fast. He need to be in the open court with runners.
He said, look at the lineup I listed above. He said starters, Pete, Reggie, PG-13, Kawhi, Rocco, Zoo. And on the bench is Luke, T-Man, Norm, Batum, and Jacob Porter. Okay. I like Jacob. I like Jacob Porter. I like him. Okay. I like Jacob. Don't get it twisted. I do like him. Okay. Well, if you go ahead.
I just don't like Wall in that trade.
Yeah, I don't like Wall because now you don't have a point guard.
Yeah, you giving up what you started out the season hoping for with a backup point guard or a starting point guard. We wanted 2 point guards going into the season. That was the whole point of going out and getting Wall. Why would you give that up? I don't get it. That kind of defeats the purpose.
I think what he's looking at, I think what this might be what Neat's looking at. He's probably looking at like this is a way to get Rocco his minutes back, and this is also a way. He's probably looking at Terrence Mann as he was a point guard at Florida State, but that's not his strong suit. Like his strong suit it's not to be a point. His strong suit is to basically be a defensive energy guy, grab rebounds, and occasionally hit the outside three.
He's a roamer.
He's a what? Yeah.
T-Man is a roamer. That's where he's best at, roaming. Like Batum. They best at roaming, not set in a specific position.
Right. They can do it, but when you go up against, are you telling me that he's just like he's a top 5? He's like that's what you call Terrence Mann, like point guard. I mean, there's a reason why they list him as a small forward or a shooting guard. There's a reason for that.
Right.
Because he's not naturally a point guard. Like what they did at Florida State, from what I can kind of see, what I think it is, they probably groomed him to like develop into somewhat of a point guard, but naturally, that's not who he is.
Right. He's no more a point guard than PG is. Yeah, they can do it, but they not efficient at a point guard.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfectly what you said. But Neat said, I think a center is more important for our team. Yeah, I think so too. And really, if you can go out there and get Jakob Poeltl without having to give up much, like I would give up. I mean, really, damn. let's just say hypothetical. Go ahead.
We got that $9 million trade exception though. We don't have to include Wall in that deal.
Right.
Is it 9 or 11? It's 9 or 11, I think.
I think it's. I have to go back and look. I know it's somewhere around that ballpark though. Because what's Jacob Porto's contract? You know.
It's not that big. It's like I'm not for sure. I think it's like it's in between the 10 and 15 mark. I think. I'm not sure though.
Okay, so he says Celtics were helping out. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
He says Celtics were helping off of Wall. He has been a liability. Okay.
No, but he was.
He hit some. Yeah.
He was efficient in that game.
Yeah.
Like
so
3. He was 2 for 3 from 3 in that game, and he hit a couple. I think he hit like 1 or 2 mid-range jumpers too.
Yeah, it's not like, but that's just it's kind of like okay, here you go. The same thing that we saying that Terrence Mann's not a point guard is the same thing we're saying John Wall is not like a knockdown 3-point shooter. Right. He can do it. He can do it in spurts, but it's not who he is.
Right.
So you got to put him in a position where he's primarily great at, which is initiating the offense, pushing the pace, and getting high impact plays. That's what you use John Wall. That's what you brought him there for.
Right.
So the fact that you say that the Celtics were helping off Wall because he's been a lot, you're putting him in a position that he's not. That's not who he really is. I mean, he's developing, getting better, but you're putting him on an uneven playing field. That's why I said they're not using him right. They're using him as a guy just catching and shooting threes. Like You're not letting him run the show.
Right.
Right.
Which is crazy because at the beginning of the season, he was able to do that. They was letting him get out open, seeing how good it was working.
Yeah, they were, and I don't know what happened to that. I don't know what happened to that. What did you see the shift? Like why they stopped doing it? Was it just the inconsistency of not giving them enough games?
I think those couple games he was out. It's been different ever since those couple games he was out. So I don't know if I don't know what happened in that little span of time.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what in the world happened. Like this was like it was cool at first when I remember them games, like against the OKC Thunder and against the I want to say who they play, the Suns and against even Washington, like games like where he was actually able to play and start. Because I remember against Washington, he started that game.
Right.
So it's like
I think he needs to start, man. I think he needs to start.
You need to let this man go. You need to give him his wings, man, because it could be frustrating when you constantly getting yanked out of games. You're not giving your full minutes, and it can be frustrating.
Right.
So, I think this was just weird from the start. I didn't understand how he earned Reggie Jackson earned a spot over him in training camp. I don't know how he even earned that. Like, I know what he did last year, but Ty Lue said they were going to compete for the spot. So did they really compete for the spot, or was it just let's give it to Reggie?
I don't think it really was that. I think he meant that. I think he meant that going in, but in actuality, he just reverted back to his love for Reggie.
Yeah, that's what I think happened too. Because I was just like, there's no way in the world you're going to sit up here and tell me that Reggie Jackson's a better player than John Wall. With all due respect, like, it's a reason why one guy, John Wall, is a 5-time All-Star. Even if you put in the injuries, he's still a more better player on both ends than Reggie Jackson is. Like, no way in the world you can sit up there and tell me that you had an actual competition in training camp and that Reggie Jackson just beat out John Wall. Like, I can't see that shit.
No, I don't believe that either. Yeah, he might have intended tended that to be the case going in, but he just reverted back to what he had, the love he had for Reggie.
Yeah. I think the team would get. I think the team would be better if Lue, T-Man, Roku got more minutes. His minutes. His minutes. You
Absolutely.
talking about John Wall's minutes?
Oh no, I think Wall still need to get some minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Wall or Reggie Jackson. If you're talking about Reggie Jackson, I agree. If you're talking about John Wall, I mean, shit, he ain't getting enough minutes himself, so ain't really much minutes he can really spread. Like, he don't,
Right.
I mean, you got Reggie getting 28, 30 minutes. He needs to get off his minutes.
Right. Right. And I think, me personally, I like Batum and T-Man so much. I think anybody could take a little tick off their minutes to give him some more minutes. No,
Right. He said since Reggie is out today now, bitch ass Ty Lue gotta start. Yeah, you see, and that's how sometimes things work. Sometimes you put in a position where you have no choice.
Right.
And I like this because now, first of all, Reggie needs a rest anyway because he been playing so much the last couple. He's banged up, so why are you playing all these minutes? Okay, so let me get this right. We have too much depth. At least that's what the narrative is. So why do you feel the need that you got to play? Just take a break.
Right.
Hell, Kawhi and PG, our two best players, got no problem taking days off. Okay, right. Reggie, you deserve a day off. You deserve a day off of work.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? So now we can see Wall in his actual natural form and see him excel. And same thing with Nicholas Batum. You know, him limping around. That could have been a sign, okay. And this is why I say you got to have good management skills. These little knickknacks and these little injuries and shit like that, it's an indication that these guys are getting overworked.
Right.
Getting overworked. So it's like you got to, at some point, you got to take them out the game and save them from themselves.
Right, right. Because they warriors. They want to play. Sometimes you got to save them from themselves.
So I think Nico and Batum needs to sit down and they need to let Rocco play. And I think Reggie needs to sit down.
Right.
Because I think if somebody can tell me in the chat, what's the problem? I think what I read was his Achilles.
Yeah,
that's what I read.
I think I read that too. A little sore Achilles or something like that.
Yeah, if it's your Achilles, you need to sit down somewhere because that's the last thing we need is him saying he ruptured his, like, that's another problem.
Right, because I think he kind of banged it when he went down in that Detroit game, didn't it?
Yeah, and then he got hit in the face in the Boston game as well, I remember.
Right.
So yeah, man, we just need to be Ty Lue got to do a better job with rotations, bro. I just think that
he do. And I got love for Ty Lue. I think he's a great coach other than what he's shown in these bad rotation problems. Other than that, I think he's a good coach. But I don't like these rotations. He been fucking up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's been doing it for some time. That's why I'm like, come on, man, get it together, bro. Get it together.
Like I know I remember like several different instances where when Rocco did play, he had a couple problems guarding the speedy guys off the dribble and stuff like that. And I remember him getting beat on the boards. But that's something that Morris has problems with all the time. So why? That's not really a good excuse. I mean, And another thing something that Morris don't do that Rocco does do is he's great with deflections. He's great with deflections. He gets a lot of look. He gets his hands on a lot of balls, man. And he's a great 3-point.
Yeah, bro. He's another Nicholas Batum, bro. He's a younger version of Nicholas Batum. So how do you not use that? And you're right. Marcus Morris, he's strictly there to hit outside jumpers, even mid-range jumpers, tough shots, and be a tough guy on our team. You can't even say he's a great defender because that dude be getting cooked off the dribble every time. It's like almost, I'll be watching, I'll be like, damn, he just lets him go right past him.
Right. Now, I will say this, though. I will say this about Morris. He's been better this year on defense than he was last year, but he still be getting blown past. So you can't. So you can't.
How much better did he get?
You can't say that it's because Rocco be getting cooked all the time. It's because like, man, he's so good with deflections. Like I said, he's a good 3-point shooter. And yeah, maybe he got beat on the boards a couple times when he did play, but so does Morris. So get that man some minutes, man. Is he in a trade or something? What's the deal?
I don't know, bro. All I know is this: if he ain't getting the minutes by, I would say, halfway or even after next month in January, then there's something going on. Either he getting traded
it's some beef going on. If he ain't getting minutes by that time, it's some beef between him and Lue. That's all it could be.
Yeah, it can't be nothing else. So, but even with trade, I can't even see this with the trade because really a trade shouldn't keep you from playing.
Right.
Like, okay, Eric Bledsoe last year, right? He was still getting minutes, but they traded him and Justice Winslow for Norman Powell and Robert Covington. They got that trade. I don't know how the hell they got that.
Right, that was highway robbery.
that was a highway robbery. I think because Chauncey Billups is in there, so that was a favor.
He showed some love, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Portland had to get Norman Powell off their books anyway to get Anthony Simons that big deal.
Right.
So, I mean, it was almost like a win for both sides. But Justice Winslow and Eric Bledsoe was still playing.
Right, and Justice Winslow was just starting to play better too.
Yeah, so when you got a person, usually when you get traded, in order to up somebody's value, they usually let them rock out and play.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing, trying to figure out why he ain't playing. That's all.
Bro, I'm telling you, it gotta be something personal between those two. Even if Ty Lue's doing this on a person, that actually makes me feel a little bit more. That would make me look at Ty Lue a little different though, because it's like
it would.
It's like, bro, you that petty or something happened. I think but you know what I think it is? I just think that Ty Lue again is just doing dumb shit. Like, if we gotta act like
he's still human.
He's still doing the same dumb shit. Like there's been so many simple things right in front of us that we see as supporters and fans that he won't see or he won't pull the trigger on that's in front of him. So
right, he overthinking things and doing dumb shit, like you said.
Yeah, so I hope Kawhi and because I think Kawhi likes Robert Covington. I think
he's a vet that does good shit on the court. You can't help but to like it.
And he's a high IQ player too. Kawhi likes to play with high IQ players. So, right. I mean, you go to Ty Lue and tell his ass like, "Hey man, what's going on? Shit, you did it to Serge Ibaka last year. Like, they trying to sit Serge Ibaka down, and Serge went to Kawhi and told him." That's how Serge got back in the rotation. Because, right. Nigga, let's get it right. That's Kawhi's shit. Like, if he makes a suggestion, they gonna roll with it.
Right. But I hope it's what I've been told, that it's just like the 10-game sample size thing. He tried out something for 10 games and it didn't work. Now he need to go and put Rocco in and let it rock.
Let it rock, bro. Let it start today. Really, if you ask me my personal opinion, bro. I mean, Reggie's gonna be out. Shit, sit Nicholas Batum out.
Right.
Let him sit out.
Right.
I mean, you playing the Pacers, so I mean, they average team.
Right.
This is a team that you guys can run steamroll through if y'all just do what y'all need to do.
Yeah, if y'all play to y'all potential, y'all should smash them.
Exactly, bro. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get up off here though, big dog.
For sure.
Any last thing you want to say on here before we end it?
Nothing, man. Just Happy New Year, man. Subscribe, like the video, and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to you and your family and everybody out there on the chat.
Yes, sir, bro. Happy New Year, man. We'll be back on tomorrow.
For sure. Salute.
All right, man.
Salute, everybody.
Salute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my man OC Love, Clipper supporter, very, very knowledgeable brother on the game. You know what I'm saying? You heard the man. He says like, share, subscribe, Pull Up Basketball Podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. Put y'all comments, what y'all think about, what y'all feelings is about the situation in the chat. Do you guys think that Ty Lue should be, y'all think Ty Lue should be looked at in the hot seat right now on the situation? Do you guys think that, Paul George can be the second option to a championship team? And do y'all think Kawhi Leonard is officially on his way back? What y'all think about the situation? Jay Ferg said Batum out today. Okay, there you go. You got two guys out. Go ahead and give Rocco Batum's minutes and go ahead and give John Wall, Reggie Jackson's minutes. There you go. That's how God works, man. Speedy recovery for both brothers. But, I mean, come on, man. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, just play the right guys when they need to be played. We need to be a top 4 seed. In my opinion, we can be the best team in the West as far as what the standings are looking right now. So there's no room to be. We should not be a lower seed than 4th this year. It shouldn't happen, right? But y'all hit that like button, man. Like, share, subscribe. And the Cash App is right there in the ticker, $ BJ Matthews. I'll put the link inside the comment section after the video as well. But y'all can look at the Cash App right there. That's where you guys can donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. And we'll be back on tomorrow with my boy Rick for our Sunday show. Respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull it loud. Peace. Out here like swimwear.